My fish fam, it's Nikachu Merfolk Master. Today we're playing Premodern Merfolk, a format I have somehow been obsessed with recently. Mostly on the back that it is sort of a completely, I don't want to say it's an unexplored world. There's like a ton of powerful tier 1 decks, but there's a lot of people that are brewing things all over the place, and a lot of people like to play the tier 2, tier 3 decks, and it feels like, you know what, Merfolk has a lot more going for it than I actually originally thought. So, I mean, I sort of looked at the Merfolk playables a long time ago. We got Lord of Atlantis, a bunch of really garbage small 1/1s. Look at this 1/2 nonsense. And I just brushed it off as completely, utterly unplayable. And then recently was asked, hey, Nikachu, can you make like something of a playable Merfolk deck? And then I started thinking, maybe this can work, maybe this can work, maybe that can work. And I slowly have improved the deck. I can't say like... The problem is Premodern is so open that I'm not getting a great grasp of how I'm supposed to build this thing for like a competitive tournament. Because the tournament should be more narrow. The top decks are like Enchantress, Stifle Knot, Oath, Goblins, Burn. But when I'm playing in the open section, I'm playing against like tons of the tier 2, tier 3 decks, and it's become very difficult for me to get a grasp of what does this deck absolutely need. So we're gonna play two versions today. Here's my aggro version, which is going to involve Mishra's Factory and Fairy Conclave as some lands that we can attack with. There are control decks out there, and frankly, I like the threat density of Mishra's Factory. So the deal is this. Are there lords? Yeah, we have Lord of Atlantis, but we also have Sunken City. It's a blue enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, sack this enchantment unless you pay blue. Look, there's not a lot of cards out there. We got to be playing. We need to play these things so that we can get across the finish line with all these other 1-drops we have. We have a pretty decent curve. Manta Riders is actually probably the best card because we can naturally give it evasion with flying. Sandbar Merfolk, we have Tidal Warrior, which says tap, target land becomes an island until end of turn. That honestly isn't that relevant. I'm not tapping this thing. Sometimes I'm mana screwing people for a few turns. I haven't found it to be very effective at all. Also a lot of blue decks in the metagame anyway. And then we've got Merfolk Trader. So I thought these cards were trash, but actually they're really good. First off, having a second toughness on a creature is actually really relevant in this format. And also, the ability when its creature enters, draw a card and discard a card, super important. It's basically Silver Gill Adept, so you can draw into your more relevant threats, like Lord of Atlantis to buff up your team, like Sunken City, but also give yourself evasion with Wonder. So Wonder is a 4-mana 2/2 incarnation. It's a flying creature. As long as this card is in your graveyard and you control an island, creatures you control have flying. So this is basically our spreading seas, because most of the cards out there, they're not flying. So this helps us just fly over any other random nonsense that might be on the battlefield. And we have some counterspells like Daze and Foil. Now the counterspells, honestly, I've found the hardest, the absolute hardest to figure out what's good. Daze, it's great in some situations. You're so happy to have it on a critical turn 2 play, but late game they always play around it. It's so bad post board. And Foil, the cost of Foil is so high. It's Force of Will, but for 2 extra cards, and like even decks like this, I don't know if I can afford to throw away 2 cards for nothing. That's why we're only running 2 of them in here. Sideboard, 3 annuls, maybe it should be 4. Cursed Scroll, annull is for like the Enchantress decks, Stifle Knot. Frankly, there's a lot of enchantments that are a huge pain for us. Engineered Powder Keg, was it Plague Engine, not Plague, Engineered Plague. We're not worried about Plague Engineer, we're worried about Engineered Plague in this format. Curse Scroll is for any matchup that's trying to be grindy, and I found like I think it's a really clunky with the Sunken City play, but if you're in a grindy matchup, you need extra threats. Curse Scroll is just like some really good damage that you could use against your opponent. And also Curse Totem for the elves, mostly for the elves matchup. I think you can bring it in versus Madness as well. And Opposition, I don't know if this should be on the sideboard, but it's like a sort of a catch-all versus any creature-based deck. Maybe it should even be in the main deck, because later we will look at an Opposition version of the deck that I would like to play. But first, we'll just play this for 2 rounds, and we'll play an Opposition version. So if you don't know how to play Premodern, you have to go all the way down. Can I show you? So you have to go all the way down to Specialty, Freeform Best of 3, And then it's like people are like pre-modern practice, pre-modern. There's always a pre-modern game going on. So you can create your own game pre-modern, and then you wait for somebody to show up. So when we get our match, we'll get into our first round. We lost the die roll. The opponent mulliganed. We have a one-lander, but if we don't hit our land, we can at least play Daze for one turn. This is... our opponent mulligan. Maybe we should mulligan too. I've actually have a lot of experience with one-landers. They don't work out so well. I don't mind keeping a one-lander if I have a lot of one-drops, but I don't have a lot of one-drops in this hand. But like this hand doesn't really go anywhere. I'm gonna keep it. I guess we'll dump Wonder and then hope... No, hold on, not cancel. Let's keep Wonder. I'm gonna keep Wonder because theoretically it could be a threat when we get to 4 mana. Theoretically. And then maybe if we draw a looting effect, we can dump the Wonder. And then go to the skies with all our creature lands and Tidal Warrior. There we go. Just trying to think. Forest Go almost always means Oath. Let's... But if I'm up against Oath, I can't really beat that. So we're just gonna jam our hand. We'll play Tidal Warrior into Merfolk Traders next turn. Survival of the Fittest. Is this Elves? I think it's Elves. Which means could... actually, I guess it's not huge problems. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, we're going to draw a card. We'll dump Wonder. Go to the skies with our Tidal Warrior. So usually what they do is they survive for a squee. Yeah, this is definitely Elves. Which is why we've got 4 Curse Totem in the sideboard. I don't know if that's going overboard for this one matchup. It's pretty evil, though. I'm not thrilled to play against Elves. Okay, we'll attack for 2 and play our Merchant. Sunken City is good, in my opinion. We'll get rid of... I have no island in our hand, so let's just get rid of foil. Play a Fairy Conclave, and then next turn... Oh, we've got options. Probably... This is a Madness deck? What? Basking Rootwalla? Okay, well, I didn't expect that. What the hell? What is going on here? Okay, you have a free Basking Rootwalla on the battlefield. Another Basking Rootwalla. That'll do it. Maybe this deck needs to go blue-green just so I can deal with enchantments. A lot of enchantments. A lot of artifacts and enchantments in pre-modern. Powerful stuff. That's so funny. 3 Basking Rootwallas. Yeah, basically you discard 1, you get them all. And I guess combined with Gaia's Cradle, that's a huge problem because they'll help pump each other up. What a turn. Yeah, no. Now they get squee. Okay, I don't know what this is. This may or may not be Elves. I'm going to guess it's not at this point. This is just some random survival deck. So they can actually attack for 9 easily. If I'm calculating this right. Because this Cradle plus these 2 lands can pump up 6 creatures. Now, to anyone that might have said, well, you should have held up Tidal Warrior to hit the guy's cradle, but like they could pump them all up in response anyway. Doesn't change anything. I would be like, Tidal Warrior this thing. Okay, well, pump 2 of these guys up to 3/3s. It's pretty impressive turn 4 though. Not gonna lie, pretty impressive turn 4. Better than my turn 4. Well then. I guess I need to block something. I might need to block a few of these things. Well, actually what I can do now is Tidal Warrior this. We're going to play Mishra's Factory. We're going to play one of these Tidal Warriors so that Mishra's Factory can, like, win in a battle. Do I have a land drop? No. Played the Mishra's Factory. I will attack with nothing. Absolutely nothing. And now we are going to hit this with hit the guy's cradle with Tidal Warrior. Because at this point, if you buff up, say, a 3/3, and I know exactly which 3/3 it is, I can activate the Mishra's Factory, block, tap it to pump it into a 3/3, and then use the other factory to turn into a 4/4, and then win the block. So I think, based on this board, we're at a stall. I think we're stalled out at the moment. But I'm sure, I mean, like, there could be just one Master Core in this deck, and that's going to be a big problem. Although there is no mana to play it at the moment. There's only 2 forests. Arrogant Worm. This is a Madness. Does Madness play this card? I played against Madness quite a few times. I never saw Survival. Or is this just mono green Madness? So I believe this is a 4/4 Trampler. People love their Madness in Premodern. Yeah, 4/4 Trampler. Which can still also be exchanged with our Mishra's Factory. Another Arrogant Worm costs 3 mana. Okay, so I sort of want an untapped land next turn. So that I can go Sunken City, attack with, I think, 3 of... You have another Gaia's Cradle? Things are looking very good for our opponent. Because now they can make an attack. Well, I can do a chump block. Actually, I can gang block 1, right? I can gang block 2 of them if I want. Okay, so some stuff is going to die here. I have to triple block 1. So that when they turn into a 3/3, it will still only kill one thing. Kill our Tidal Warrior. Alternatively, they can pump up these, just exchange this with this, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It's not too bad. The only bad part about all this is I have to keep dealing with a damn Arrogant Worm every turn. Maybe even a few a turn. Okay, this one is getting buffed up for no reason. That one's getting buffed up for a reason. Oh, I guess they want to exchange with a 1/2. I guess that's the reason. Well, there's less things on the battlefield. That's all that's important. Oh, how did two things... Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, yeah, I'm an idiot. This is a 1-2. So 1-2 and a 1-1. Of course. Of course it's going to go down like that. Okay, I drew my untap island, but what cost now? I have to block this thing now. Just have to block these. My blocks are terrible. Sort of just playing... I'm in sort of a spot of like playing not to lose. I will... I'm pretty sure we went first. Who went first in this game? It's not us. Maybe if we went first, things could be different. Well, we have to... I don't know if this is the right move. Forcing my opponent to a decision. Other guy's cradle. Okay, Squee comes back to hand. Will be discarded to find, I guess, another Arrogant Worm. Isn't there another Arrogant Worm in hand? There's an Arrogant Worm in hand. What else can you go get? What else could you want to go get? Feels Genesis. Is that going to give everything trample? At the beginning of your upkeep, if this creature's in your graveyard... Oh, it's just... This is some... I've never seen this version of Survival before. I can see it's doing things. If you get this thing out turn 2, maybe a control deck can't deal with this damn thing. Brawn, as long as this card's in your graveyard, creatures you control have trample. Sorry, as long as that's in the graveyard and the opponent has a forest. Not that it mattered to me anyway, because this thing already has trample. Oh my god, Wall of Roots too. How many Arrogant Worms are in this? Okay, there's at least one Arrogant Worm still in hand. So I'm just thinking, like, when I bring in Cursed Totem, it's not going to be strictly amazing, because my opponent can just play some, like, chunky stuff anyhow. I don't really understand what they did in this game, though, because they could... If they pumped up these two things, my blocks were pretty crappy. The way they have this, I can theoretically block that. Okay, so we live to see another day. We'll pay the upkeep on our sunken city. Okay, we're gonna play an island because I really want to have both factories online. And pass again. I don't know where I'm going. I just think I'm just waiting to lose. We do have a wonder in the graveyard, but I can't attack. My life total is too low to attack. What is this? Glory. Choose a color. Creatures could gain protection of the chosen color until end of turn. Activate only if this card is in your graveyard. If you don't have white mana. Not yet, at least. Put you to decision with this guy's cradle. Not that it's a hard one. Actually, I shouldn't be auto yielding these because I need to hit the cradle in response. I guess I don't. Hold on, where'd the basking root walla come from? What the hell? How did it come? How did it get resurrected from the graveyard? Or like what I'm misunderstanding something. Returns basking root. Squee Goblin Bob is returned back from the hand from the graveyard. Returns basking root walla to its owner's hand with Oh, Genesis can return anything. You may pay 3 mana. If you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to... Oh, I thought you just returned Genesis. That's incredibly sick. We have no inevitability whatsoever. Another Wall of Roots. A Birds of Paradise. With Trample. That's a trampling Birds of Paradise. Be scared, everybody. Be scared. I can't believe I'm still alive. I don't know. Are they playing with me or something? I don't get it. Why am I not dead? Vanillion Merchant. Okay, do I have to... I need to deal damage. But I am in no position to deal damage. Okay, Fairy Conclave it is, and pass. Do the exact same damn thing we've been doing every other turn. And make our opponent prove they can do something. They have a lot of mana. Oh, they're gonna go get their Root Wall again. So if they brought the Root Walla back in hand, why didn't the Root Walla enter the battlefield? Through madness. I have a feeling we're just like one City of Brass away from dying to this thing. Another Arrogant Worm. Which we knew about like a million years ago. When did they find Masticore? Oh, if they find Masticore, I guess I'm just dead. I will not. I cannot beat a Masticore. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. I'll just concede. Or well, look, we can look. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, we can concede to that. Armageddon, destroy all your lands. They're all blown up. Okay, they win the first match. Sorry, they win the first game. So we will want Cursed Totem for sure. We might want Opposition in here. I don't really like foil. I want to deal with things after they've resolved. I'm not even going to try to play a null. It's just they have a lot of mana. I imagine they also have what's it called? I imagine they have Mox Diamond. So trying to time when you get that annul on their what's it called? Survival of the Fittest seems pointless. I do like the Opposition for interaction. Maybe we go down some number of Sunken City to squeeze that in. Oh, now I know why they couldn't play Arrogant Worm, because it's like no, but like when you have Madness, isn't it still sort like can you cast things at instant speed? Yeah, I think you can. I think someone played a Root Walla against me at instant speed. Anyway, I don't know why it wasn't played. This hand looks beautiful, except I have one land, so I'm gonna mulligan. Not in love. I'll keep. We'll throw away the Sunken City. But we do have our Silvergill Adept, which might make things look a lot better. You never know what you'll draw off of that Silvergill Adept. Draw Misha's Factory, which can be extra creatures to be attacking. Sorry, to tap things down with opposition. I'll discard an island. That order's fine. I mean, actually, I should just say it's good, because that's, again, another creature that'll help us with opposition. There's survival again. What a surprise! But if they're locked down on green mana, they'll be in trouble. So they're only as powerful as the amount of green mana that they have. Which I'll admit is like they have a lot. I wonder, were they just white mana screwed the entire time? Is that their problem? Of course, another Guy's Cradle. Why not? Okay, Wall of Roots. So are we gonna do this Song and Dance all over again? Ooh! Is that worth playing now or later? I think it's worth playing now. Okay, hold on. No, let's attack with. I don't want to. Okay, if you discard, I don't know what's gonna happen. So let's just play this damn thing and hope there's no artifact hate. Now, mind you, this does sometimes shut off our own creatures, like it's gonna shut off Tidal Warrior here. I'm certainly hoping that it's worth it though, so we don't get swarmed by a million Basking Root Wallas. There is one Basking Root Walla, which can be played. To go get another Basking Root Walla. Actually, after this has all been done, can I go get in for some damage? I think I can. Find another Basking Root Walla, because if they trade, what do I care? Might even be happy with that trade. Or actually, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't be happy with that trade, but this attack will make it look like we're happy with that trade. There we go. We bluff them. I don't know. I mean, probably they do want this creature. This is gonna be so awkward, though. Why do you have to get Survival and Guy's Cradle in the same hand? That's like a combo that you start the game with. Start the game both games. I'm not so lucky in Premodern. I'm playing with a bunch of dirtily nonsense. Okay, double white. Oh no, is it gonna be Armageddon again? Seal of Cleansing. That's worse. That is significantly worse. Although completely expected in a format where enchantments and artifacts are quite powerful and quite common. Having cards like this are very, very important. Ugh. Well, what do you want to blow up? You tell me. Pick your poison. It's the Curse Totem or the Opposition. I need a Wonder in the graveyard. Alright, the Opposition is more powerful. Okay, let's tap down Guy's Cradle, I guess. Not that it really does anything here. Actually, that was probably pretty silly. Oh, no, it's not silly because I have nothing to lose. Because I'm about to lose my Opposition. Okay, so, okay, it can die. Curse Totem remains. Alright, maybe if we just draw a bunch of blue creatures, this will be enough. It'll be good enough. Okay, I have to auto-yield some stuff here. This is going to be infuriating. So they're going to do their thing of getting every Basking Rootwalla from their deck onto the battlefield. I'm sure they have Sylvan Library to make this a little bit more consistent. All the decks have it. Rootwalla 2. But remember, they're only 1/1s. In the face of my Curse Totem, they're only 1/1s. Nantuko Vigilant. I don't even. When this creature's turn face up, destroy target artifact or enchantment. That is terrible. That is terrible. Okay, I can't even beat that. They're gonna beat my Cursed Totem. So if they have that type of card in their hand, then probably I shouldn't have sided in the Cursed Totem, because like survival will basically tutor for anything that they need to win the game. Or maybe this is like the survival of the Fizz deck. I've been up against elves that ran survival, and it was just a very different deck. Very similar. Maybe they ran this card in elves too. Goodbye, Cursed Totem. We hardly knew you. I feel like I'm up against a combo deck. They got Genesis again. I will... I want to resign, but I can't. I'm pretty close to it, though, because I have to keep Tidal Warrior locking. I got another Curse Totem. That actually might help me. Okay, we'll play Lord. Hit the Cradle. Attack for 2. And then play Curse Totem. And then I can F6. Alright, well, I think the best thing I could draw now would be another Lord of Atlantis. Random creatures would be good too. I would appreciate random creatures. Another Basking Rootwalla is about to enter the battlefield. Welcome to the show, Basking Rootwalla. They look a lot like these little lizards that I saw in Florida when I dropped down over there. They're all over the geckos. It looks like a gecko. It's got a very gecko-looking nature. And and you know what? Where there's one, there's many. They're all over the damn place. They're all over the place in Florida. Probably came from Florida. All it took was one hurricane and it ended up being in my Magic the Gathering game. Hurry up, opponent. You don't have much time left. Time is of the essence. They got a Masticore. Masticore is useless with a Curse Totem on the battlefield. Yeah, useless is a bit of an exaggeration. I mean, it's still a 4-power creature. That's fine. I do need to act quickly. Maybe the best top deck would be Wonder, so I could just play it, block with it, and then go to the skies. This creature enters, return. Oh, you're gonna get... This deck can do... This deck does everything if you don't interact with it properly. Also, it helps when you have Gaia's Cradle. That makes the whole thing super smooth. Well, now what? Now what chances do I have here? Okay, so... Totem gets blown up. Totem gets blown up. Masticore is played. Do I have just one shot here? Another guy's... No, mind you, they're drawing so many cards out of their deck that the chances of them drawing something good have increased for the most part. Oh, yeah, they have a million mana. All right, good games. That's it for us. Survival, boo! Not beating survival today, that's for sure. All right, that was round one. Let's get into our second one. Okay, we won the die roll. This hand is... It's not pretty. We'll just say that. I've seen better. We'll keep it, though. We need to be able to, like, we need some creatures. We need some creatures. We're at least on the play. I think I would have to mulligan this on the draw. I mean, honestly, if we just curve into 4 lands, I'll just hardcast these damn wonders. Ancient Tomb, that is part of this format. Fire Diamond. I believe this is a dragon deck. I might have played against this opponent before. This might be one of those rare situations where I'm happy to have days. Maybe. They have enough mana. That's all mana to ramp out those dragons. Yeah, normally I wouldn't know what this deck is, but I think I've played against this player before, and they play a dragon deck. Well, I don't really want to play any Sunken Cities, because I have to curve into Wonder. This hand, by the way, just turned awful. Like, it's just terrible. If I had, like, one looter card, this probably doesn't look nearly as bad. It's funny, I have doubles of these cards I don't want to see very much. What is this? When you control no artifact, sack this creature. That's fine. That is just great deck. That is fantastic. I'm so happy to see that Fairy Conclave. Well, here's the good news, chat. Here's the good news. I can play Wonder, block it, and then my creatures will have flying. One block. I'm assuming there's another, but the problem is there's probably a few more dragons on their way. Oh, Tangle Wire. Tangle away. This is not... At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a soot counter on this artifact. At the beginning of each upkeep, that player sacks a permanent... I don't want to sack any permanents. We're just going to cast this. No permanents to be sacked, please. I don't want to. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe it's a dragon deck with smokestack in it. I think I remember Tanglewire. I don't remember the smokestack very well, though. I have zero chance of casting anything, so I might as well just tap all my lands this turn. I mean, I guess I could draw a 1-drop, which would help, but I'm going to attack with my Lord of Atlantis instead. Okay, this helps the traders, because next turn we can loot, dump a wonder, and that at least gives our creatures flying, so we have some means of chump blocking this while attacking. Tanglewire is still going to be a problem, though. But I mean, it's going to be 3 on our turn. We can go tap Lord, 2 lands, and be able to play Merfolk Traders. I feel like I'm so off on my camera. I'm not centered. I want to be centered around here. Dust Bowl. Oh, a smokestack anyway. Permanent choice to each counter. That's terrible. Okay, so we are really racing now. Huh. I'm just wondering if I can even play fair at this point. I might have to just tap 3 lands, hope I draw a land, play traders, because I have to attack at the same time. And I need more permanents for smokestack anyway. So we just have to hope we draw a land, an untapped land. I did not. Okay, we'll just concede. Because I need the maybe I don't care about the permanent so much, because I could just sack something that's tapped. But I need some means of like chump blocking while attacking at the same time. Okay, cards that I want. Opposition looks great. It looks very, very good. Maybe even a null is good. Let's get rid of foil. Let's get rid of daze. Daze looks awful. We'll bring in some annuls. Counter a random artifact, I suppose. Maybe we can get rid of 1 Sandbar Merfolk, get another annul. Counter some of that ramp. Daze not going to be reliable. Or it shouldn't be reliable, I should say. Not really a fan of foil. I played with this card quite a bit. Sometimes it feels good, sometimes it just feels terrible. I should say, like, in that game, our opponent took so much damage. If only we could just, like, these wonders were so bad. I do have 4 because there's just so many matchups where the boards get clogged, and I would, like, this is a reliable way of getting in damage. Lord of Atlantis is not, because our only Island Walker is, like, Tidal Warrior, and that could just get killed off on the spot, or even Lord of Atlantis can get killed off, so I really like Wonder as evasion. Let's look at the display view. So like Wonder as evasion is very, very nice, but we needed a looter. I do have 8 of these. It's a lot. I guess it's not enough sometimes. And Sunken City, again, we had like the two cards I only want to see 1 of. We had both of them, and no looting effect. I would love to play first. This hand's good. We'll keep this. Start with Island Tidal Warrior. Go Tidal Warrior. I'm bringing the opposition and just mostly just tap down the dragons. Tap down Dragos. Okay, I will attack for 1. And I think I'm just going to play the Sandbar Merfolk. And then for a turn that we really need to find our island, keep our islands coming, I'll play Vidalian Merchant. Oh, a port. You want to port me now? Okay, I'm just going to counter the first thing I can counter. Well, I guess we're gonna discard the wonder now. Draw's not bad. I'll take a Lord. Maybe we'll just go Lord, win. Because you saw how much setup they required to cast even one dragon. It's really strange tapping both ports unless they've got removal here with the mountain. They have to. It must be like Pyroblast or Red Elemental Blast or something. We're gonna... actually, you know what we can do? Let's get rid of this mountain. Well, I guess if it's Pyroblast, it doesn't change anything. I can't play around it. Well, I mean, I can for this turn. I would get in for 4 damage. I would still get in for 2 damage if they floated a red. But the following turn, they just have their mountain anyway. No! No! Well, now what? Now what do we do, chat? Yeah, that's a popular card too. That's great. Okay, well, how about this one? You got a plan for this one? You got a plan for this little guy? I wasn't really expecting the Pyroclasm. Probably I should. You saw that Madness deck we were up against before. That Dust Bowl is... I'm not going to say it's useless here, but it's not great. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, well, that was enough of my aggro version. Let's go look at another version that I have, which is Opposition and... which utilizes Opposition and Winter Orb. Okay, so another version of this deck that I certainly would like to play is utilizing Opposition and Winter Orb. I have to say, Opposition is probably... I think it's the most powerful card that I've played with this deck. But the only downside is, of course, there's a lot of artifact and enchantment removal, which is very sad, unfortunately. But it is, like, when I'm winning game, like, this card can turn, like, just a bunch of random nonsense on the board just into a dominating board state. And Winter Orb has synergy because you can lock down people's lands pretty well, and then also tap your own Winter Orb to unlock your lands. But I must say, like, you gotta get Opposition down first, the Winter Orb second, because play Winter Orb first, it's gonna be really hard to get the mana to play Opposition later. The deck plays a Tidal Warrior, Merfolk Looter, Merfolk Traders, Verdelian Merchant, and Lord of Atlantis. Like we have, like, basically max looting machines. We have the classic Merfolk Looter, tap, draw a card, then discard a card to help find your critical pieces, or discard useless ones like Winter Orb Opposition, or just find more creatures in general. I found Portent was a pretty good card to help smooth out your first turn of the game. It'll look for lands, look for the missing pieces. Like, this deck is just a pile of nonsense if you don't find these pieces. Like, you absolutely need to find those cards in order to do anything with this specific type of deck. And I haven't played with Impulse yet, but I want to try it out because it's a 2-mana card that can, again, find the one missing card that you might be missing. Or, let's say, someone dealt with your first Opposition, you can go find a second one. It looks deeper than, say, cards like Gush, which is fine. I think Gush is fine, but whatever. And I'm playing with Thwart, because that was the original card that won, I think, a World Championship or a Pro Tour or something like that. And I do like it. It's a hard counter. Daze is not reliable. Foil is also not reliable, especially since I'm not playing with Gush in this deck. Thwart is just a hard counter. You have, like, 3 islands and an Ancient Tomb, or just 4 islands in play. You play Opposition, they play a counterspell, you thwart it, and that's that. They've been thwarted. All right, so let's play a couple games with this. So we won the die roll. The hand looks fine. I'm going to keep this. Not the most beautiful, but really nice thing about Merfolk traders is that you can get rid of cards that you have extras of. All right, so here's Portent. Let's play our Portent. We do need those lands, so I'm not going to throw them away. Let's put Lord, land on top. I'm not going to use Portent's ability. It's basically the Ponder. Ponder of Premodern. An island deck. There's so many island decks. Okay, hold on. This is not going to be strictly an island deck. Some sort of Miracle Grow deck? Yeah, probably. If you name Lord of Atlantis, I swear, probably will name Lord of Atlantis. You can't play Meddling Mage in the blind versus any random person. Oh, okay, they don't. Phyrexian Dreadnought, but I have to say a lot of people have played Meddling Mage blind into Lord of Atlantis versus me. So this looks terrible already. I think we're up against some sort of Miracle Grow deck, because this Winter Orb is going to prove to be terrible. But these Lords should be great, assuming our opponent doesn't interact with them. I wonder, was the correct thing to do just play a Lord and then go into Lord? Yeah, there's Creon Dryad. Some might say this is exactly what we should be playing. Yeah, attack me for 2. Okay, let's see if we can race this deck. Yet another deck where Winter Orb isn't good. Why am I not surprised? We're also very lucky to have 2 Lord of Atlantises in our opening hand. Ooh, gosh. It's going to make Creon Dryad very big. Very quick. Another Mox Diamond. This is one of the few cards I'm like, why is this legal? I think this gives a massive advantage to... oh, we're screwed now. I think this gives a massive advantage to a lot of decks. And, like, I think the best deck, the best deck in the format is Oath. Oath of the... see, now they choose Lord of Atlantis. Now we screwed. This one card just got a 2 for 1. Oh, the Ancient Tomb. Anciently useless at this point. And the winter, everything has gone super sour. Now, it's not... I guess it's not completely over, because we can still dig for opposition. I don't want to take too much damage from this Ancient Tomb, so I'm just going to play Merfolk Traders as it is. Get rid of an Ancient Tomb and play Island and hope this Meddling Mage naming Lord of Atlantis attacks into our Merfolk Traders. Yeah, but we're sort of dependent on this opposition now. Getting in with that Meddling Mage. Whoa! Okay, I mean, if they have Swords to Plowshares, I can't play around it. Yeah. I can't play around it. They'd be, like, way too far ahead. We had to hope they got greedy. We are toast. They have everything. We have nothing. Wow, that was bad. That was pretty bad. You know what I'm gonna side in? I'm gonna side in Misdirection. That looks good for misdirecting Swords to Plowshares. But if there is a counter war over, say, opposition, we can misdirect the counterspell to our Misdirection. What else do I want to bring in? I think that's about it. What am I going to get rid of? Maybe one Winter Orb. This. I mean, maybe I should set it. Maybe I should set out all the winter orbs just to be all in on opposition and thwarts. Thwart is not a bad counter spell at all. Because they do have the Mox Diamond. Alright, this hand is pleasant. More pleasant than the last one. We have our opposition. Let's see if we can get it online. Portent, we're just trying to make our land drops here. Those look like land drops if I've ever seen them. So let's just keep everything. Perfect. We are curving straight into opposition. Mind you, we're up against a green deck, so they vary. And we also showed them Winter Orb, so they might have brought in like Naturalize, some sort of enchantment destruction. Sorry, enchantment / artifact destruction, which is again has to be. It's super common. Because of what's it called? Because of Phyrexian Dreadnought. How about we get? I'm gonna do it. I'll play a Merfolk Looter and then follow it up with a Vidalian Merchant next turn. The City of Brass. Ooh, we could keep tapping that thing down. That's a clock. Oh, Source Player, that's aggressive. Alright, it's gone. It's gone. How about another one? I'm going to cancel that. Okay, how about another one? Opt away. You got opt in the format. I imagine this is Queer on Dryad again. Oh, Werebear. Okay, so let's play. Okay, I really want Lord of Atlas to resolve. I don't know if this deck is playing Daze. I'm not. I mean, like, there's not really a whole lot of websites I can use to gauge what the hell, like, what's in everyone's deck. And, like, I've seen so many different variations of the Stifle Knot deck, it makes me sick. You know, let's keep that Lord of Atlantis. Let's just go on the... Can we go Beatdown? Ugh, I don't want to run right into a Swords to Plowshare, so I better not. We'll maybe play patiently. We may not even need this opposition. Actually, probably I should play opposition just to hit their mana. We hit the mana and then we start hitting their life total. Werebear being sort of like a Tarmogoyf for the format. Yeah, so here's the deal. Like, when I look at the top 8s of so there, I knew it. I knew you had that type of card. I know. I could smell it from a million miles away. So when I look at like big events with top 8s or top 32s, there's a bunch of Oath decks that play Mox Diamond. I think that's awful. I think it's awful, awful, awful that exists. Okay, let's loot. We can discard another looter, I think, for now. Okay, let's go for an opposition. I'm hoping there's like no counter spells or very few counter spells in this deck. Maybe more likely is like Naturalize. Okay, that resolved. That's good. That's good. I can keep this island in my hand for a Merfolk Looter. Okay, now our random creatures are powerful. Power. Very powerful. Upkeep, I'm going to tap down the Werebear because it's worth mana and it can attack us. Oh, is this naturalized now? We tap for green. I have found like the most powerful of all these variants I've played, anything with opposition is outright the most powerful because it just turns your random stuff on the battlefield into removal effectively. The problem is finding this card. No! What does that do? Okay, you're going to fire. Oh, do you have 2 fires? Okay, so we're going to draw. Found a portent. That's not bad. I think there's 2 fires up their sleeve because otherwise they'd send the extra damage at our face. Oh, you're that threatened by this tiny Vidalian merchant. Gonna play a second Mox Diamond. Yeah, discarding another land. Oh, Plague Engineer. All right, that's evil. Well, I do have. Fortunately, I do have a Lord of Atlantis. Unfortunately, I do have a good chunk of creatures in the deck that are 2 toughness. Good chunk. Okay, we're gonna target ourselves. That's great. I like all those cards. I want this one and this one and this one. No, don't use the ability. I need all those things. Okay, don't get another engineered plague here. That would make me so angry. Okay, tap down your Werebear. Draw my Lord of Atlantis. Then we'll draw what's it called? Our little fellow here, Tidal Warrior. Okay, just I don't know. I don't think I have anything to play around, but I'll play the Ancient Tomb anyway, just in case I have to play around Mana Leak. It would make me so angry if I played this and I got Mana Leak. That'd be so bad. It'd be so bad. What's with these top decks? Okay, well now we're vulnerable. Before I wasn't so vulnerable. Now we're in like really deep crap. Tap down Werebear. And now tap down City of Brass. Like, I am the innocent merfolk deck. I am trying to do super fair things around here, and I am up against 3 Swords to Plowshares. 3 of them. Okay, we have a misdirection for, I don't know, the last one. Well, everything's worth 1 damage, so I better not attack. Because whenever I tap the City of Brass, it's going to deal the damage anyway. Okay, now here's the problem. How many Swords to Plowshares are left in the deck? Like 1. This misdirection looks really bad. Although if my opponent plays Naturalize, that would be fine. Okay, so there's a Creon Dryad. Come on, random creatures. That is not a random creature. Okay, pass. Sure. This might as well be like a 5-color Miracle Grow deck. Engineered Plague is still pretty popular because in theory there's goblins in this format, although I've played like 100 matches and I haven't seen goblins once. Mystic Enforcer. Protection from black, amongst other things. So I now need to draw. I have like a million well, I wouldn't say a million creatures, but I have more creatures in this deck than my opponent has creatures in their deck. And I need to find them. We'll leave the Creon Dryad to attack because that creature is not attacking for very much. Oops. Oops. Okay. Made a mistake while talking on stream. Okay, so I get attacked. Okay, I'm getting attacked for a little bit more than I wanted to get attacked for. So I better make the best of this. Too many stops. Too many stops. Okay, that's good. All right, we've got the answer to everything. This werebear is annoying because like that's how I screwed myself up, because I need to remind myself to again tap afterwards, like right here. The werebear technically taps for mana, so technically you should be tapping it. Where is that last sword supply? Oh yeah, it's also important because of these looting creatures that you should always have some random crap in your hand to discard. Another misdirection, which is honestly might be fine. If they find naturalized for opposition, we can target the engineered plague instead. Let's get in for some damage. All right, here we go. Here comes the beatdown. The 12-turn clock has begun. I do have to say this deck, well, I think it's way more powerful. It's a little tedious because you basically have to keep clicking. A lot of clicks, a lot of clicks. Make sure you auto yield some stuff. Another Lord of Atlantis. Perfect. That's exactly what we needed to see. Now we attack for 2. We actually can attack for almost... You know, maybe the correct thing was attack for 4, just tap down these 2 largest creatures and then go for lethal. Oh no, this is still, sorry, this is still lethal. This is still lethal. This will still get the job done. You know, it'd be really frustrating if they play another engineered plague like right now. Make everything a 1/1 again. That'd be so infuriating. Okay, that's fine. Where's all your blue spells for all these cards? Tap down City of Brass. Okay, we won the game. You can see I have 10 power on the battlefield. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, maybe we don't want Winter Orb at all. They have a lot of mana. Those Mox Diamonds are really frustrating. Or do we want a Null outside? It hits Mox Diamond. I don't like how it exchanged with Mox Diamond though, but it hits... It does hit Plague and... Sorry, Plague... No, Engineered Plague. Get them crisscrossed and mixed up. There's also some red cards. They have red removal. No, we'll go Thwart. I like that. I like that it's a solid counterspell. It's a solid counterspell. So if we need to really protect something, it'll do the job. Also, Thwart puts islands back in your hand to be looted away afterwards. Hand is decent. I like this. Hand is decent. We could use one less Ancient Tomb, I suppose. But we effectively have turn 3 opposition. I just need one island. My opponent says, "Gotta run. My little one's gotta something." All right. Well, that's gonna be a victory for us. Victory with the opposition deck. All right. We've seen that. Let's go get into one more round. We have lost the die roll. We have a keepable hand though. Sort of curves out. Against an island deck. Well, let's just play random creatures first. Quicksand. Okay, so Quicksand I think is only played by the what's it called? Quicksand is only played by the do I want lords here? Maybe I don't want. No, I need a counterspell. There's gonna be a fight at some point. We'll get rid of. Or maybe I have to get on the board really quickly. Oh, I don't know what to get rid of here. Okay, get rid of Portent. And we'll attack. If you want to sacrifice your Quicksand. This is mono blue control. And there's nothing else. There's nothing else it could be. There's Impulse. And their main game is to play, what's it called? Parallax Tide, wipe out all your lands, and then not let them come back. That's their game. That's their idea. Maybe I should just been jamming lords. Okay, this gets countered. Nope. Can't fight over it. I'd try if I could. How about this one? A good chunk of counterspells in this deck. Okay, I can't attack into that Mistra's Factory, unfortunately, so just gonna have to pass. Okay, play Accumulated Knowledge, which, by the way, is a 2-mana draw card for each draw card, and then draw a card for each card called Accumulated Knowledge in your graveyard. I need, like, we need to curve out here. Okay, they let that resolve. That's good. Ugh. This is not good. This is terrible. And the clock is ticking. There's a point where they just nuke your lands, and the nuking is coming. I don't know what to give them here. Okay, those are my choices. They took the raw cards and the Chain of Vapor. Oh, maybe they need the Chain of Vapor for Parallax Tide. Powder Keg, sure. It's very unpleasant looking. No! Like, we're just not curving. Reminds me of Modern. To some degree. Well, at least we get to attack this turn. Okay, we desperately need lands so badly. We need lands so... Oh, no lands on top. Okay, well, no, I don't want any of these things. Use Portent's ability. Yes, please. Like, this thwart is doing nothing. Can't attack into this Mishra's Factory. Another Factor Fiction. This is terrible. Navindral's okay, this is too much. Let's concede. Let's move on to game 2. Okay, so Misdirection looks good, because that can freely win a counter war, and also annul hits Powder Keg. Ooh, I have to be careful of how many cards I'm bringing in, though. Okay, so annul can hit Powder Keg and Parallax Tide. Winter Orb is very strong, because they'll be tapping out constantly. I think Ancient Tomb is strong. Ancient Tomb into a surprise Winter Orb will be great. I can't bring in that much interaction, though. I can take out the thwarts. I think I should have Misdirection in this deck. Okay, we'll take out Impulse. I don't think we need to, like, combo off. I think we can play a fair game. This is I don't know, something I sort of wanted last game. Okay, I'm gonna keep it. Can't throw this away. I'm not in love with the hand, though, because it doesn't really go anywhere. We really depend on these merfolk looters to show us the way. Loot for something useful. Okay. Got underneath our null. Let's start looting. Discard. What can I do to get rid of this thing? I think I just have to exhaust it. We'll play a second looter and draw a few more cards. Or we have to give them the 2-for-1. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I don't have to give them the 2-for-1. Like, we could just sit here with a looter and draw cards for a very, very long time. I don't think that's a big deal. Draw land, discard land. Let's draw another one. Discard another one. Alright. Pass. We're effectively suffering the opposite problem from last game. Alright. They can go to my graveyard in any order. We'll play Merfolk Traders. If there's mana leak, I can literally pay for it. Another Tidal Warrior. I'm just going to get rid of an island and pass. We're just going to have a more threat-dense hand here. I would love to counter that, but I can't. Oh boy, another Powder Keg, Forbid, Quicksand. I mean, it's like the hand is perfect. Where's our Winter Orb? Let's give them Counter Magic versus all the removal. I actually don't know how to split these very well. Okay, we'll do it that way. You can have hard counters. Because we have some interaction. Oh no, wait a minute. Oh yeah, okay. So if they went for the artifacts, it might have been more advantageous for us. We definitely have to counter this. Or we have to attempt to counter this. Wow, resolved. I'm going to play Tidal Warrior. The top X cards. Okay, go for it. I have to say, you know, in all other formats, I feel very confident versus Control. I feel not confident at all versus Control in this format. I mean, there are cards like Stifle, for example, that you can play that would help a lot. Okay. Here's our chance. We need to draw. Oh, no, we're not going to draw it early enough. You don't draw immediately. There's nothing on top. This match was doomed to lose. We were doomed to lose, chat. I would love to use the ability. Okay, attack in for 2. Our mana acceleration was worthless. We drew another island. This is all very nice, but is very weak to the power of the Neverneral's disc. All right, thank you very much. Good games. I cannot play into it. My opponent has. I know my opponent has like counterspell plus tons of backup. Well, I mean, I don't know what to do versus this matchup yet. Or maybe I actually, sorry. I think this deck has a lot of game because of Winter Orb, but we didn't draw it at all. If we drew Winter Orb, this could be a very, very, very different match. Anyway, that was the second round with our opposition deck.